got a good football question. You retired in 1981. 1982, the Metrodome began the Vikings, and Mike Ditka became head coach of the Bears. Did you ever think, what if I played for Mike Ditka or a day in the Metrodome against your old team?
Do I think about what if, you know, had I played a little longer? When I left professional football, it was time for me to go. I was looking forward to it and looked forward to it. I had a great career. I had more than my share of good things happen to me. And quite frankly, in 1981, it was time to move on.
I have to ask you, did you start off as an offensive lineman? Because we know as a rule, defensive linemen aren't all that bright.
Not that bright, but they've all been hit in the head at least. But I will say this, not to denigrate your having been an offensive lineman, but I was smart enough not to be one of those.
I forgot one thing I want to say. Sitting right down here in this front row is this lady with long blonde hair. Her name is Betsy Lane, and Betsy is the book doctor. And Betsy helped me work on this book. So thank you, Betsy. Anybody else?
Can I tell you a little bit about our Education Foundation? 22 years ago, in fact, the Sunday night after I learned that I was going to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Diane and I we sat down to dinner with some friends to talk about what this really meant and what was important about it. And it seemed to me at that time that there had to be something more than simply another recognition for past athletic accomplishment. So we sat around with these friends and thought about, well, what could we do that could be more meaningful? And we came up with the idea of doing something that would help educate young people. And so we thought, well, we could raise some money and start a foundation and give out some scholarship money. That would be a good thing. We thought if we could raise $100,000, that, you know, that would be miraculous, and we could do great things. Well, we managed to. Well, we talked about that and refined it, and at some point we were talking with our children about it, and our we have 4 children. Number 2 daughter, number 2 child, Georgie said, you know, nice idea that you might give out some financial assistance, but it seems a little empty to me. There ought to be something more to it. So I've been learning about this thing called mentoring. That might be something you might want to think about. Long story short, we added to the notion of giving financial assistance the idea that our grant recipients, we call them paid scholars, would go back into the community where they come from, back into the community where they go to school, to work with young children, kindergarten through 8th grade, specifically in the area of education. They do that roughly 2 hours a week, 50 hours during the school year. And the grants are renewable. The grants range in amount from now I think it's $1,000 up to $2,500, depending on whether they're going to a 2 or 4 year school. Depends on how long they've been in the program. The grants are renewable, and that first year we had 10 paid scholars. This year we have 560, and we've had over 4,000 over the last 22 years. And I will send you to our website. If I only knew.
Diane?
She's not there.
page-ed.org. And actually, if you just Google Ellen Page, that should be the first thing that comes up. To find out even more information about where they serve. I think our grants are limited to Minnesota students going to Minnesota schools, only because we don't have the wherewithal. We've got roughly 3.5 people, full-time equivalent, to keep track of 560 scholars. We don't have the ability. Yes.
It's page-ed.org.
Page-ed.org.
Or hyphen, whatever you want to hyphen.
We don't have the wherewithal, given our small, limited staff, to go beyond the borders of Minnesota. But anybody who wants, you know, what we do is highly duplicatable.
I was just going to ask if that was being picked up anywhere else.
It really hasn't. We've had a couple of places that have tried it, but it takes a lot of work and it takes a commitment. And we haven't found anybody to take it up yet, but the opportunity's there.
NFL Players Association.
The opportunity is there.
Let's say 2 more questions. If there are 2 more quick questions.
How you doing, sir? My name is John Lane. I'm the book doctor's husband. Question for you. I have a nephew. He just got drafted. He's a rookie in the NFL. And I want to know, I want to keep him on the straight and narrow. So what kind of advice could you give to him to keep him on the right path?
What kind of advice could you give to a rookie, could I give to a rookie in the NFL to keep him on the straight and narrow? Well, I think it's important to work hard, to focus on what it is he's trying to accomplish. Take what he does extremely seriously and not take himself too seriously. And then beyond that, prepare for the day when his football career is going to be over. Because that day is coming. It may come sooner, it may come later, but it will come. I played for 15 years. Played college and high school, 23 years total between the 3. I have now been out of professional football substantially longer than I played all of football. I've been on the court now for just shy of 18 years, which is 3 years longer than I played professional football, and I had a long professional football. One last question. Yes?
Who had the most influence on you, a classroom teacher or an athletic coach?
Who had the most influence on me as a young person? Athlete, teacher, athlete, coach, my parents. I think, and that's not all that unusual. If you look at the studies that have been done with young people who are asked, who is it that has influenced you the most? It is their parents. It is their family. They're the ones that influenced me and had. They're the key to and the foundation to whatever I have